Greetings and welcome to another day and another week. Well, today we're going to talk about centralized and community-led projects, crypto projects, right? We're going to look at the differences and the pros and cons. Stay tuned. Greetings and welcome to Mr. Rich Pig channel, your hub for business brilliance, investment insights, crypto exploration, and all things passive income. I'm Mr. Rich Pig, your guide to financial triumph, and I'm thrilled to have you on board. Get ready to dive deep into investment strategies, decode the crypto universe, and master the art of passive income. But before we kick things off, hit that subscribe button, like, ring that notification bell, and let's ignite the comment section. Your journey to success starts here. Let's go. So here we are again. All right, so let's examine the specific context of community-led and centralized-led cryptocurrency projects along with their pros and cons, right? So, many of us, we are often heard about DeFi and centralized, but do we really understand the differences, right? The different makeup, the benefits regarding the pros and cons of these crypto-led projects. So today we're gonna, do a little deep dive and look into the differences, right? So regarding to a crypto-led project, in a community-led project, decision and contribution comes from a diverse group of community members, which can include developers, users, investors, or enthusiasts, right? The project direction is influenced by a collective groups of community members, right? And these community members most often congregate around Twitter, Facebook, and Discord, right? And they all, in a sense, contribute to a common goal, right? They all, excited about their particular crypto project. Most often, just like myself, you have members that also make YouTube videos, and very often we start off our videos by saying, we are not financial advisor, and rightfully so. We want to make sure that these are not financial advice, right? We are simply part of a community. We're excited and we contribute information to the best of our knowledge, right? So it shouldn't be taken as a financial advice, right? We're just providing information because we, in a sense, collectively belong to or part of the same group, right? So regarded to a community-led crypto project, here are some of the pros, right? One of the pros is that it's decentralized, right? Reflects the core philosophy of a cryptocurrency as a decentralized decision making and avoid concentration of power, right? So what this is actually saying is that there are no one particular individual that in a sense makes all the decision, right? It's a collective group of individuals, right? So in a community led, you may have a core group, maybe of 3, 4, 5, or maybe even 10 or 15 or more, right? And then you have the wider group that contribute on certain decision in terms of vote and so forth, right? So decentralized, right? That's the main pros right there. Then we have diversified of ideas. So ideas are diverse, right? Involve a wide range of participants can lead to innovative ideas and solution, right? So this just bring the terms more heads, or two heads is better than one, right? So this way, there is a decision bank of ideas, right? A pool of ideas per se, for lack of better term. So this way, we can brainstorm collectively, right? So if there's one individual, that individual in a sense can be limited in terms of innovation, right? But when you have a lot of people coming together, we can put our ideas together, and the group in a sense can sift through those ideas and choose the idea that is very fitting for the particular situation, right? Also transparency, right? Open communication and decision-making process enhance trust and transparency within the community. So when we have a decentralized or community-led project, there is a high level of transparency, right? Meaning, there's a lot of more than one individual that involves in certain decision and transparency, right? Where transparencies are concerns, right? So we have that. There is transparencies. Exclusivity offer opportunities for various stakeholders to have a say in the project direction, right? So, there's a lot of individual that their opinions matter, right? So we have that. Then resilience. Community-led projects may be more resistant to external pressure. They are less reliant on a single entity, right? So in a sense, there's no single one point of failure, right? There's no single individual that can, in a sense, bring down the project, right? It can happen because one individual can do something, reckless, but overall, a community-led project is more resilient to outside pressure, right? Because there's no single point of failure, right? Everyone, in a sense, make decision collectively, right? So we have that. So just to reiterate over the pros, we have decentralized, diverse, transparent, inclusivity, and resilient. So to look at some of the cons, right, regarding to community-led project, coordination challenges. So that's one of them. Decision making can be slower due to the need to reach consensus among diverse opinion, right? So in a community-led project, there are individuals of various, education level, right? And sometimes one of the big thing is time zone, right? A lot of times we're in different time zones, and when one is sleeping, one is making decisions and so forth. So sometimes it can be challenging to have everyone present to make decision, and sometimes making a quick decision is very difficult because we have to wait until the other person is available to make that decision, right? Conflict resolution, right? So we have disagreement within the community can lead to challenges in reaching agreement and moving forward. So I see that in real time. A lot of times there may be one individual that in charge of a particular aspect of the project, and because a decision cannot be made, then there's a gridlock on certain decision to move forward, right? And it could be, in a sense, like a little limbo, right? Where days and weeks can go by because we can't reach a resolution, and there could be an individual that is stubborn to reach a particular decision, right? And so we have that con right there, right? Which is a big one, right? Especially if they have a lot of influence on the project as well. Lack of clear direction, right? That's one other con right there, right? Without a centralized authority, project might struggle to maintain a clear and consistent vision, right? So a lot of times when you have a centralized project, you have one person in charge and they just make decision right off the back, right? Whether it's good or bad, decision are made and direction are clear in a sense, right? With a community-led project, sometimes, direction can be foggy, right? And it's fluid, consistently changing because individuals on the project, have a change of mind, right? Resource allocation is another one. Distributing resources equitably among contributors can be challenging, right? So those are some of the cons regarding to community-led project. And just to go over it again, it's coordination challenges, conflict resolution, lack of clear direction, and resource allocations, right? Those are just some of the cons right there. So we'll move over to centralized crypto-led project. It's a clear difference, right? So in a centralized-led crypto project, a single entity or core team holds most of the decision-making power. This approach aims for streamlined decision making and focused vision, right? So we're going to look at some of the pros and cons regarding centralized crypto-led projects, right? So the pros we're going to look at is efficient, right? Very efficient, right? So there's an efficiency level with centralized project that is way different than a community-led project, right? So when it comes to efficiency, quicker decision making and implementation can occur due to more streamlined decision making process, right? So in a centralized situation, there's a single individual, and sometimes there's a small group of individual, but most of the time there's going to be one person that makes a decision. So decisions are very quick. Streamlines of decisions are also very quick, right? So things move a little bit faster in that sense. Then their clear vision. So centralized leadership provides a clear and consistent direction for the project, right? So there's no conflict regarding reaching a decision because there's no objection, right? There's one individual that just set the tone right at the get-go, right? Resource allocation. Resource can be allocated efficiently according to the centralized authority strategy, right? So when you have one individual and they set the strategy in place, then they just allocate the resource, so things just move accordingly. So the next thing we're going to look at is accountability, right? There's a single point of accountability, making it easier to attribute success and failure, right? So accountability, what we are talking about here is that if there is a misstep or mismanagement, right, there's one individual that is accountable, right, for that particular mistake, right? If there's a failure in the company or the project, there's that one individual that you can point finger to that said, that is accountable, right? And that goes for when the project is successful and even when the project fails, right? So we have that. So when it comes to pros, these are the pros regarding to centralized cryptocurrencies, right? So a centralization contradicts the decentralized philosophy of cryptocurrencies and could raise concern about power concentration, right? So another point also is resistance to change. Rapid change or updates might be hindered by the need for centralized approval, right? Limited input. Few voice in decision making can result in missed opportunity for innovative ideas, right? So this does bring us to limited information regarding to brainstorming of ideas. So when you have one individual that making decision, innovation can be limited because, as the saying goes, more heads is better than one. Even though we can have one individual that's a genius at times, especially when it comes to like Bill Gates per se or Steve Jobs, these individuals are very innovative and they bring forth some of the best ideas, but most often they are working with other people as well. Then we have the dependencies. The project's success heavily relies on the effectiveness and foresight of the centralized leadership, right? So we look at one individual to lead, right, and make all the decisions, right? So in a sense, that can be while it can be good, it's a con, right? Because, it's almost like, to sum this all up, it's almost like putting all your eggs in one basket, right? So, choosing between the two, can be challenging, right? So, the choice between a community-led and a centralized-led crypto projects depend on factors like the project goals, the nature of the cryptocurrency, and the preference of those that are involved, the stakeholders. Some project attempts to strike a balance by incorporating community input while maintaining some levels of centralized direction, right? So, and to further on that point, it's important to note that the crypto space value decentralized transparency and community involvement, but the practicality of complete decentralization is very complex, right? So what that is basically saying right there is that even though a cryptocurrency may say they are decentralized, but for the most part, they are not 100% decentralized. They always one particular individual that is making the main decision there, even though they're calling their project decentralized. So we have to be very careful in that term, right? So, you have to, one way to kind of distinguish the difference between centralized and community-led project is that you have to do your own research. And one way to start your research is by reading that project's white paper to see exactly how things are done and how decisions are made and who are involved and the setup of that particular project to determine if it's more on the side of community-led or it's a more centralized, right? So so that's it for this particular topic, guys. So there you have it. The difference between a community-led project and a centralized-led project. So let me know in the comment down below if I missed anything regarding this topic, what your input on this topic as well. See you next time. And remember, guys, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share your thoughts down below. Together, we will conquer many financial milestones. Stay wealthy, stay wise. This is Mr. Rich Pig signing off. Until next time.